Jayakumar, who's a niece of Jaya, Jayalalithaa. And let me begin by asking you, Deepa, thank you so much for speaking to Times Now. The Justice Arumugaswamy Commission's report is quite scathing and has found fault with VK Shashikala, K. Shivakumar, the former Health Secretary, J. Radhakrishnan, as well as the former Health Minister, Mr. Vijay Bhaskar. What's your expectation from the DMK government now that this report has been tabled?
Saying again that there was a conspiracy surrounding her life and death all this while, even from starting from way back from 2011 or 12 when she got that whole family out, Shashikala and her family out. There was a conspiracy surrounding her. So I think the same thing applies here also. If at all this is true, if at all we are led to believe that all this information is true, most of them, as we ourselves know, or we can make out, is false and frivolous. Right from the day one, from the day of her admission to the hospital, we were just told, all the people were told that she was only having fever. So there is foul play everywhere that we can see. And most of the information given out to the public, to the press, to the general public, and to even the party, I think the ADMK party members, were all false. And now that we come to know, even the commission has looked at that point, taken all these facts into account. So I think fair treatment maybe was not given.
All right.
It should. I think the investigation should also look into this matter.
I want to come to that particular point because the report specifically states that one cannot resist subscribing to the theory of foul play in the process of treatment, and fair play was conspicuously absent. Now, this is a very, very serious observation, and how do you look at this?
Of course. Not only the treatment, everything was controlled by Shashikala and her relatives. At that point, those days, the government was also controlled by Shashikala and her relatives, which is undemocratic in the first place. And again, now coming back to the question, the treatment process, the entire thing, everything was handled only by Shashikala and her relatives. No other person or anybody else was allowed, or nobody's opinion or views were taken into account. And myself, even myself being a closest blood relative, the only blood relative, they did not even let me inside the hospital. All these things also need to be taken into account. So the investigation needs to be done as recommended by the commission also.
Right.
And even I think a lot of people who are left out from interrogation, they should also be taken into account.
Absolutely, because the report also says that the whole process of treatment remained in the exclusive control of Shashikala, her doctor relatives, and few others who were constituting the coterie. But ma'am, can these observations be taken at face value?
No, I think those factors are all surrounding her life. And it was always there. We can't just rule it out saying that, yeah, Shashikala was the best person who had to be in my house. That itself is a conspiracy in the first place. Why did they not allow the blood relatives to even visit her or be with her or anything for that matter?
Right.
That needs to be really looked at. No one can live like that.
Absolutely.
Even my aunt, I think she was forced to be in that position.
Also, Deepa, there's a recommendation for a further probe. However, there's nothing even remotely indicative of a conspiracy or some strong evidence to make it more sinister. Should one be careful when such motives are being ascribed to any individual?
Shashikala and her family had the power and the authority to control the hospital and the doctors and all these people, personnel of the government. They were in absolute control. They were in absolute power.
Okay.
The whole state government and all the top officials were acting according to the instructions given by Shashikala and her family.
All right. Those are some very, very serious and scathing observations being made by Deepa Jayakumar in wake of the Justice Arumugaswamy Commission report. Thank you so much, Deepa, for joining us this